Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here and welcome back to another Ninjago discussion video here on the channel. In today's video, I wanted to go ahead and discuss something a little bit interesting in terms of the overall Ninjago story, and that is why most people seem to forget that Season 7 even exists at all. Now, I'm not saying that you yourself have forgotten Season 7, because I know I definitely have not, and I know a large majority of Ninjago fans do in fact remember the story because they are dedicated fans, and it is, of course, one of the overall seasons of Ninjago. The only thing that I'm trying to point out here is that Hands of Time is probably one of the most forgettable seasons of them all. When you think about it, there was a lot going into Hands of Time that really wasn't up to the same quality that other Ninjago seasons had, even though the story itself of that season was very important to the history of Ninjago and would go on to set up future events moving forward into Seasons 8, 9, and 10. So there's really no reason why people should consider Hands of Time as forgotten, though it is one of the most forgettable seasons out there, and I'm going to go ahead and explain why in just a minute. Again, like I discussed, the quality was not up to the same standards that other Ninjago seasons had for whatever reason. Even Day of the Departed seemed better than Hands of Time, not in terms of a story, because definitely not, but in terms of animation. Day of the Departed definitely had the same crisp and clean animation style that the older Ninjago seasons had, and Hands of Time is when it started to get a little bit, I guess, less crisp and more kind of cartoonish in that sense. I mean, there's nothing wrong with cartoonish animation, but in Season 7, considering how these same designs from the older seasons were carried over, you could tell that something was wrong here in terms of the animation. It's almost like it wasn't rendered completely or something was missing there. Again, it wasn't as polished or wasn't as crisp as the older Ninjago season animations were, and this animation style would go into Seasons 8, 9, and 10 as well and continue on from there. And considering how the design changes were fully implemented by the time Season 8 came out, it was more or less kind of difficult to see a difference because they are such completely different art styles. But in terms of Season 7, it was kind of like a weird transitioning phase for the Ninjago show. They sort of wanted to go ahead and transition into that new style of animation while keeping the older designs, and I feel like with the newer designs, this style of animation definitely pays off more, but in Season 7 it really didn't. And that's just one of the issues that I have with Hands of Time. The overall story, while it is very important to set up, the history of Ninjago and go on to provide context for the future, a lot of things in the story really didn't make a lot of sense to me, and a lot of things really weren't needed. Remember, this season introduced the Samurai X character, and that character would go on later to play a major role in Season 8. Of course, when I say introduce Samurai X, I'm talking about the new Pixel version. And in Season 8, I think that worked a lot better than with Season 7. A lot of things in Season 7 were kind of just set up and then forgotten about, even though, it is a very important season when you consider the entire history of the show basically revolved around this season, setting up exposition and things like that. It really does, make a lot of sense that this season would be one of the most important, but in my opinion, there's a lot bringing it down, and I feel like it's just very, very, again, just forgettable. When you look at every Ninjago season and you look at all the lineups and things like that, you really don't remember Season 7 too much. I don't know if anyone's favorite season is Season 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. I mean, to me, Season 7 is sort of just near the middle or the bottom of the overall ranking the seasons list. I still would put it above the first and second season for a lot of reasons, but it really doesn't match the same quality that, for example, Tournament of Elements had, Possession had, Skybound had. Even Ninjago Sons of Garmadon and Hunted were better than Hands of Time, even though I have a lot of issues with Hunted as it is as well. It's definitely more of a recognizable season than Season 7 was, which is, again, quite sad in my opinion. I feel like Season 7 kind of just gets a lot of negativity thrown its way, even though it's not really the worst season out there. It's definitely not even close, but even so, again, I still feel like it's very forgettable, and a lot of people probably won't remember this season moving onwards, which again is kind of a shame considering how it did a very good job of setting up a lot of things for Ninjago moving forward and establishing a lot of the history. And again, just as a little disclaimer, I'm not saying that because this video is titled the most forgettable Ninjago season or something to that degree. I'm not saying that you forgot it personally. I'm just saying that when you look at the overall lineup of Ninjago seasons, Season 7 really doesn't jump out at most people, or at least that's what I've been seeing. Again, a lot of people really just don't care for the season too much or don't really care about it, and again, it's just one of those seasons that it's like, oh yeah, that season happened. I completely forgot about that. Which I get the feeling is the case for a lot of Ninjago fans overall, and I can relate to that as well. Again, not saying that I don't like the season, I'm just saying that it's kind of forgettable. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up rating, and of course remember to hit the subscribe button if you've not done so already. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, why not leave a comment talking about what you thought of the video, and again, feel free to discuss in the comments below what you thought of Season 7 Hands of Time, even though it was very important to the overall Ninjago story. Is it as forgettable as I think, or am I just being, again, a little bit more proactive in my thoughts? Feel free to leave all those thoughts down below in the comments. I look forward to reading those. The links in the description will lead you over towards one of the forms of social media, whether it be my Twitter, my Instagram, my Patreon, or my merch. Again, feel free to support me on all those platforms if you would like to. It really does mean a lot to me, guys. Kind of going through a little bit of a difficulty right now, so the more support, the better. So I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And again, thank you so much for watching this video here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.